Hello, welcome to FightCore USA.
Sometimes, and I can't stress this enough, sometimes the best laid plans of mice and men go awry. And that goes for fight plans all that tactical genius thrown out the window because these two guys just want to stand in the middle and trade leather. It happens more often than you think at the highest level. It's something that draws huge crowds and generates massive pay-per-view numbers. Nothing technical, no fancy footwork, just raw, unadulterated violence. So today, we're really going to run through some of the greatest examples of when technique goes right out the window and it becomes a rock. Let's start with one from way back in 1982. This was a fight between two lightweights, both known for their punching power. That would be Hector Thompson and Roger Mayweather. Now, Mayweather was very talented and skilled, but he was also incredibly reckless. He was willing to stand toe-to-toe with anybody, no matter how big they were or what their record was. So when the bell rang for the first round, both guys came out swinging. It was standing in the center of the ring, trading haymakers. After about 2 minutes of this, Thompson got caught flush with a right hand, and he hit the canvas hard. But he got right back up and continued to swing away. Mayweather landed another right hand, but Thompson just kept coming forward. His corner finally put a stop to that in the fourth round, after he'd taken some serious punishment. But man, did they let them trade some bombs in those 3.5 rounds. And you'll get an appreciation for how much boxing has changed when you look at this footage. Back in the day, those ringside doctors were pretty laxed about stopping fights that probably should have been stopped. Another great example of a planned fight that went completely out the window was the 2003 encounter between two junior... That would be Vivian Harris and Junior Jones. Both fighters had some success early on. Harris used his jab effectively to keep Jones at the end of his punches, but Jones began to find his range, and he started to land some big looping shots. In the 10th round, Harris's corner decided that enough was enough, and they stopped the fight despite his protests. But check out this footage from that 10th round. These two guys are standing in the center of the ring just winging it. There is no technique here whatsoever. It's pure heart and chin that's going to determine the winner. And both guys are definitely brave. By the time the bell rings for the end of the round, they've left everything in that ring. I guarantee you there were no master plans for this fight by either corner. They just said, hey, our guy's got a big punch. Let's see him throw it. That's all there was to it. Here's one that's even crazier. This was a fight between two undefeated supermen. One of them was named Anthony Mundine, and the other was Glenco Dodds. Now, Mundine was known for being a bit of a showman. He liked to dance around the ring and make his opponents miss. But Dodds was having none of that in their 2009 encounter. As soon as the bell rang, he came straight forward and started letting his hands go. And Mundine wasn't prepared for it. He got decked twice in the first round and again in the second. He was clearly outclassed and if this fight had gone any longer, I'm not sure he would have made it out of the third round. So when his corner saw that he was badly behind on all 3 scorecards, they waved it off after the 8th round. But watch this action from the 5th round. It's just non-stop fireworks. There's no strategy here. Just two guys unloading everything they've got. And gods came out on top in this one.
But there is no shame in losing a fight like this because you're basically just rolling the dice and hoping Lady Luck is on your side.
And who could forget the great tomato cannon of the 1990s? That's what they called him. Because he always seemed to get in with guys that were just too big or too talented for him. But that never stopped him from swinging away. And one of the most notable performances of his career was against Iran Barkley. This was in 1992. And by this time, Barkley was already a well-known star. He was coming off a world title fight with Michael Nunn. And despite being the underdog, he came right to Foreman in the first round. And though he was smaller, he was very aggressive. He knocked Foreman down twice in the first. But Foreman got back up and continued to swing away. He decked Barkley late in the round, and that turned out to be the difference maker. It sent a message to the world that even though he wasn't world class, you weren't gonna walk all over him either. But check out this action from the 11th round. Basically, all you can do in a fight like this is hope for the best. If you get hit by a lucky punch, it's lights out. Now, here's one that may be my favorite on the list. This was a fight between two middleweights from different tierras. You know what they say about styles fighting? Styles make fights, and in this case, it was true. Both of these guys were aggressive brawlers. So when they met in the ring, it was nothing but action. And though Gatti was very tough, his lack of technique was exposed against Ward. And in the 11th round, his corner decided that enough was enough. But check out this action from the 10th. Despite the fact that Gatti was outclassed, he never gave up. And Ward ended up knocking him out in the next round. But for a few seconds there in the 10th, it looked like maybe Gatti might be the comeback kid. But unfortunately, he didn't have the technique to pull off a victory. And finally, we have to close with one of the greatest of all time. A fight between two lightweight sluggers, both of whom were known for their iron chins. That would be Arturo Gatti and Joey Gamacia. These guys went to war for 12 full rounds, and in the end, Gatti was awarded the decision. But make no mistake, this was a battle. Both of these guys were swinging for the hills, and every shot landed was met with an immediate return shot. If there was any doubt as to whether these two could take a punch, it was dispelled in the first round. They both absorbed some serious punishment, but neither man fit. They just kept coming forward and letting their hands go.
And man, was it a thing of beauty to watch.
Check out this action from the 11th round. At this point in the fight, both guys were bloodied and exhausted. But neither wanted to give an inch. In the end, the decision went to Gatti. But believe me when I tell you, there were no losers that night. And this is the kind of fight that makes people fall in love with the sweet science. Thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe if you haven't already. And catch you all next time.
Okay guys, thank you for watching my videos.